So you moved to the US from Israel, age 13. What was happening around the time of the move? Like, why did your family move?
So we had moved for a very brief period outside of Israel earlier, and we had wanted to move to the US, but like it didn't work out for visa reasons. And my parents were like, hey, this seems like a fun adventure. And my dad has this philosophy, if you write a book in Hebrew, 7 million people can read it. If you do it in English, 7 billion can. And they saw it as one of the biggest ways that they could open up the world to us and give us opportunities. And so my parents did a really, really good job raising us. They're really the best example of parenting I've actually come across. And so they included us in all the big decisions. So I remember they sat us down and they're like, hey, would you guys be interested in going on an adventure? I'm like, yeah, let's go on an adventure. And so we all decided that we wanted to move to the United States. And so when I got here, it was really tough because the culture in the US is slightly different than the culture in Israel. Like I spoke with a heavy Israeli accent, like nobody understood what I was saying. And I was a really small kid too. Like I was 5'2" freshman year, 5'3" sophomore year. Like literally I have a driver's license where I'm 16 and I weigh like 110 pounds. And when I moved here, I'm super dyslexic. So I spent all this time learning how to read in Hebrew, and then I had to relearn how to read, but in English. But because I'd signed up for this move, I was really motivated. And it didn't matter if it was like 8th grade where I was like failing my history class and there was no like audiobooks for the textbooks. So I would like go online and Google and I'd like try to hack together some sort of audiobook that I could listen to. And I actually ended up, I would go to my teachers and I would ask, hey, like, I'll just be real with you. There's no way I'm going to be able to read this chapter or do the outline that you're assigned. Is it okay if I come to class like 15 minutes early and verbally summarize the chapter to you? And surprisingly, many teachers said yes. And so going into high school, my mom literally had to read my summer reading books to me because I couldn't do them myself. Even going into college, we had this book called Sons of Providence. And I spent all summer trying to read it. I didn't want to be the one kid who shows up not having done the summer reading before his like fancy Ivy League school. And I read about half. And so my mom had to read the rest of it, and she worked and she didn't have time to read all of it. She read maybe another 25%. And so I was stuck. I did the only thing I could do, which is like I built this text-to-speech software that would read the book into my iPhone overnight. And then I listened to that on the plane and it worked. And then, I used the version of that throughout college. But yeah, I was very, very, very motivated to learn how to read and to figure out English and succeed in school when I was young.